say last year was an experience. I couldn't be more thankful and proud of the team that we were last year and what we did and what we were able to accomplish. The way that I have been staying motivated is just trying to reference that feeling that I felt that day winning, of knowing what it tasted like, what it felt like, and really using that feeling to push myself, because I want to feel it again. I want to do it again. I want to feel it again. And so really just using that kind of taste in my mouth to really motivate me to stay locked in, to stay on the path of, okay, what do we have to do to win a championship? What do we have to do to win the tournament? What do we have to do to make it to regionals? That's where I've been from fall to spring now. I've just tried to stay locked in and keep that same feeling in my gut of, I know what it felt like to win. Let me get back to that feeling again.
I agree, just never staying satisfied. It was one of the best feelings ever, just being able to hold up that trophy last year and go to regionals. I think it was a really special opportunity for us, so just going back there year after year is definitely always the goal.
Ainsley, can you just talk about your confidence last year and how it felt knowing every time you stepped onto the mountain it would be a short inning?
Oh my gosh, that's not just me though. You've got to give credit where credit is due when it comes to pitch calling. When it comes to my defense, we had one of the top defenses in the country last year on paper, and I totally agree. I think we had one of the best defenses for sure. And so that doesn't just speak to me getting on the field, off the field quick, but having a number one defense gives you all the confidence in the world that if I miss this pitch, guess what? Whoever's behind me is going to make that play for me and is going to do something to help me out in the end. And so really having confidence, knowing I've got a baller defense behind me, is really what gives me the confidence to be so successful out there. Because it's not just me. Just because I have the ball every pitch doesn't mean it just was me getting those quick innings. My defense wholeheartedly contributed to me getting off the field as quick as I could every inning.
I'm sure you want to credit your teammates, and that's amazing. But you also doubled up your strikeouts between the year before and last year. So obviously, your teammates were a big part of it, but something was working for you last year. What do you think that was?
So sophomore year, whenever I transferred here, I didn't have a set role pitching-wise. It was you could be a starter, you could be a reliever. Well, I would say the midway point of this season, my sophomore year, Coach Jordan and I had a conversation of, hey, you do better in the relief role. You are a closer at heart. We know that's what you're good at. We're going to have you stick to that for the rest of the year. And so it took going from sophomore year to junior year to realize, hey, you're way better in the relief role. And so I also think my mindset changed, like a flip switched to where I went from, oh, I'm going to be a starter reliever. No. You're just going to be a reliever. That's your focus. And once I figured out what my role was and how I could be so good in that role, that's what gave me the confidence to keep doing it and just being in relief and giving this team the best opportunity to win every game.
And so you go into this season with the mindset you were a lights out closer last year. What have you kind of worked on in the off season to build on that?
Just perfecting my craft, adding a few things here or there. Let's say I was getting 6 inches of break last year. We're trying to add 7 to 8 inches of break this year. So really just perfecting my craft and building on what I'm already good at. We're not changing anything. We're not making me a different pitcher. Just because I was a spin pitcher last year doesn't mean you change who you are, what you do day in and day out. We've come back and we're doing the same things, just making me better in different ways, in small ways, so I can have a leg up on the competition.
Kylie, you guys have 8 freshmen on the team this year. Redshirt sophomore, you're experienced, but you're also still kind of new. So how have you kind of taken any role with those new players at all, and what's it been like getting to know them?
Yeah, I think just my role this year is trying to control the outfield in any way that I can, help them. We have a lot of great freshmen, especially in the outfield, who've been great to work with. I think they're really great this year. So definitely just getting them comfortable, getting them to play like not freshmen, like they're meant to be on this field, they're meant to be here. So just definitely, I remember being a freshman and you're a little scared. So just taking that role, owning it, and just helping them learn a little bit faster.
Either of you guys can answer this, because it's 2 different people. Trinity Schlotterbeck and Kate DeLeon both on staff this year. How much has that helped you guys, if at all?
I think for returners, it's a big help because we obviously had a different relationship with them last year. They were our teammates last year, and now they're our coaches. So yes, they technically are our superiors now, even though last year we were equals. And so I think having a relationship last year has actually made our coach to player relationship even better than it was. Like, I have a different dynamic with Coach Kate and Coach Trinity than I do with Coach Nicole or Coach Jordan or Coach Shelby. It's a different dynamic because we knew each other so personally last year that now it's just helped build into this beautiful thing where there's more back and forth when it comes to coaching and having a conversation about, okay, so, this happened at practice. Well, it's like, okay, I can go up to Trinity and be like, well, what did you think of this? And then I can give her the same different feedback of, oh, well, this is what I thought. And so it's very easy to have really good conversations with them because we had a different relationship with them last year.
Yeah, I agree. I think just them knowing the feeling of failing or success every single day, because it was just last year, I think they know how to speak to us on a different level than the coaches do. So definitely they just add a lot of comfort to us and help us just grow.
This era of college athletics can be a little crazy with the transfer portal and whatnot, but it didn't seem to hit you guys too hard. You guys retained a ton of talent, brought in a ton of talent, retained your coach. What has it been like to kind of have the ability to build on the success you guys had last year?
I really strongly believe the transfer portal has helped us year in and year out.
Yeah.
Because there are times where people graduate or people leave and you have to fill a spot, and so you need to be able to utilize things like the transfer portal and your incoming freshmen to fill those gaps of what you're losing. I believe that we have done a really good job of getting everyone in, and everyone on this team clicks. There's nothing behind closed doors with this team, which is so amazing. Because you hear a lot of college athletics, there's things that go on behind closed doors that nobody knows about. But with this team, we mesh well, we click well, we work together well, we have all bonded super well. So far, this is one of the best teams I've ever played on. It's really great to see how well we've all grown close.
Is there a different mentality with it at all? You guys may be the hunted this year with the success you guys had last year, when you guys last year kind of more hunters, or did you guys not really feed into that kind of narrative?
I don't think we really fed into that narrative. I think we just went out there and wanted to play FAU softball. I think we just did our best to block out the noise, and that's exactly what we're going to do this year. I think new year, like half of our team is new, but I think the mentality is still the same. Just to go out there, play our ball, not feed into whatever anyone else is saying.
I believe pressure is a privilege. It's a privilege to go out there and know, hey, you were top dog last year. Guess what? People are going to you have a target on your back. People are coming to you. Guess what? That's a privilege. To be on a team this good, to have girls this good next to me on the line, I love it. I want people to come after us. I want people to want to beat us, because at the end of the day, we know who we are. We're going to play FAU softball. We're going to hold ourselves to the standard that we hold each other to day in, day out. And we're going to do our type of game, and we're going to play our way. And so having a target on our back, that doesn't change the mindset whatsoever. We're going to play FAU softball like Kylie said.
Ainsley, I also want to ask, potentially three new catchers on the roster. I'm not sure who's going to be the starter just yet. I'm sure you might, but what has it been like getting to know all three of them, and have you developed any specific relationship with one of them?
Each of them has something unique about them that makes me like each person differently, in a way. But last year we ran with two catchers for most of the season. This year, who knows? Might have one, might have multiple in each game. You never know. Coach Jordan's a mastermind when she does what she does. She has a reason, and she's got good reasons behind why she does what she does. But I will say, learning the catchers, all new catchers, has been interesting. I love it because one of them is so good at communicating. One of them is so good at framing. One of them is so good at telling me, hey, I saw this in your pitch, you did this wrong during a bullpen. They all have different qualities about them that has made it so fun to learn and to throw bullpens with them. Don't know who's going to start day one. Doesn't really matter because all of them have the ability to start day one. it's a race neck and neck.
Kylie, I want to talk about your adversity. So your freshman year, you made 3 appearances before your season was unfortunately cut short due to injury. But last season, you had a strong comeback with 43 appearances, 7 starts. You had 48 at-bats, you finished with 13 runs, and you even hit your first collegiate home run. Just coming off of an injury can be scary to any athlete. So how do you feel like you were able to really just push through that bout, that barrier, and just overcome that fear almost and just have a breakout season?
I think it was just, I have to give all the credit to the people around me. I definitely have one of the best athletic trainers ever, and the coaching staff handled the whole injury so well, and I just had teammates behind me every step of the way helping me out. So I think just having the mindset of I'm going to come back, there was never a doubt in my mind. Not once thinking, what if I don't come back from this? Definitely just, I'm gonna come back stronger, and I'm gonna have a great career, and I was lucky enough to have all those people have my back.
And then Ainsley, can you just also talk about your versatility, being able to start or come over as a reliever or a closer?
I attribute that to being able to spin the ball. I've gotten so good at being able to spin the ball and get movement that it helps me to keep other teams off balance, because it's such a struggle to hit spin. Not only hit it, but hit it well. And so I attribute, my spin has helped me to keep other teams off balance. And I also compliment every one of our pitchers well. It's a lot of it, Coach Jordan talks about it, a lot of it is about the matchup. What pitcher would throw better against these hitters because they swing this type of way, this pitcher pitches this type of way. A lot of it is about matchups. And so when Gabby Sacco starts, I can come in behind her and I look so different from how she throws that it throws a team off. If Autumn starts, if EG, or if Kelsey starts, it helps that they're so different from me and I'm so different from them that when I go into a game, it's to a hitter, it's like, oh my God, how do I hit this? I just went from somebody throwing 65 to now I only throw 58, 59. Oh my gosh, how am I supposed to hit this? So I have to give credit to the other pitchers. I compliment them well, and so that is why I have the ability to go in and perform as well as I do, because I go in after them.
Any Zoom questions?
I got you. Kylie, I'd like to start with you. Kind of talking about that role-playing piece. Last year, you were almost kind of a reliever in the batting lineup. You stepped in, and you were just honestly, you were great. You stepped in, and you succeeded so well in that role. I'm curious how you did that. What was the mindset to, maybe you don't start a lot, but when you step in to be able to deliver like you did, can you walk me through the mindset piece of that?
Yeah, I think it's always a little disappointing to know that you're not starting the game, you're not in the starting lineup, but I really just had to get past that and know my ability. I always knew that I was capable of being a starter or just contributing anyway to the team. So I definitely turned my mentality to just being the best teammate I could be. If someone went out before me, if I needed to go in, I'm gonna pick them up and I'm gonna do my best. And definitely just learning to play a role. I actually loved my role last year, so yeah.
How does that translate this year? I'm assuming you're here because you're going to play a good bit. So how does that translate into an enhanced role this year?
I don't think it changes. I don't think the mentality changes. I'm just going out there to play my game, be the best player I can be. Definitely just building off of my game, building off my confidence from last year. Definitely helped to get some experience last year. So just building off of that, definitely going to help this year.
Ainsley, I'm going to ask you about the dynamics of your pitching staff. But I think there's 6 of you by my count.
Yes.
You all have different roles. You've got some newcomers in there. You've got a nice hodgepodge. But what's the dynamic like between the 6 of you when you're throwing bullpens, when you're in practice? Because you're going to step in and relieve with one another. You're going to take over when one of the others not doing well. What's the dynamic like between the 6 of you?
Well, all of us know that we were handpicked to be on this staff, on this pitching staff, to work together and to contribute to a common goal. And so I wholeheartedly believe that each person on staff knows, hey, this is my job this year, or hey, this will be my role this year, because we all know that it doesn't take, it used to be where you could throw one pitcher and they could win you your majority of games. But instead now we've made it, no, we're gonna have a staff, and we're gonna utilize everyone in the staff so we can be successful. And I think everyone has taken and bought into that mentality about how we're a whole staff approach, not just a one person only approach. And so everyone has bought into that, and so the dynamic in the bullpen has really become where we're pushing, somebody over here is pushing me to be better, I'm pushing them to be better, and because we're all fighting for the same goal. We're all contributing the same goal because we all want the same thing. And so the dynamic in the bullpen has really just been about helping each other get better, pushing each other, making each other better. Because we know that if we can have a successful pitching staff this year, we are going to be lights out, and we are going to scare a lot of people.
And I want to throw one more out at Kylie. That's my last. It just you had so many people graduate from the offensive side last year. So you've got a lot of people in different roles, new faces, but also people in enhanced roles who were already there. I'm curious what that's looked like for you guys in the fall and through practice. You have a lot of people stepping into new places. Has that flow been pretty consistent? Is it something where you maybe some aches and pains, you finally get into the point where you're feeling good going into the year? What's that been like?
Yeah, I definitely feel great going into the year. I think we all learned a lot last year from our fifth years. They definitely taught us a lot, just the mentality of the game. But yeah, I think we've got a lot of people to build off of. Like, obviously, we've still got Kylie Chanel, we've got Jesse. They're the lead and we're following behind. But for sure, just staying strong. Coach Jordan keeps the same mentality with us at the plate. So just day in, day out, we're just working hard. And yeah.
I think a lot of the returners have done a really good job of passing down Coach Jordan's hitting philosophy to the newcomers, and also passing down the little tips and tricks about mentality and the game of softball and life in general that they learned from the fifth years and from all the older girls who last year who are now gone. I think we have done a really good job of giving all of that advice to now our newcomers so we can get them on the same page as a lot of the returners are.
Question for both of you. Describe what's it like playing for Coach Clark. What is she like to play for?
Want me to go first?
You got it.
So I was Coach Jordan's first recruit here after she got the job in, it was 2023 she got the job, and I was the first recruit here. And I just remember meeting the woman and immediately trusting her and knowing she's got my best intentions at heart. She wants the best for me. That's what I knew from day one of meeting her. And so ever since that day, I have had full faith, full trust in her. I believe in her 100%. I never question her tactics, why she does what she does, because she has this way with her personality that makes you believe that you can trust her from the moment you meet her. And so playing behind her, having that trust and really believing in someone that much gives you a leg up, because if you can't tell me you're going to play the same for a coach that you don't trust. You're not. You're going to play way harder, way better for a coach that you trust and believe in 100%. And so I think she has that personality trait about her that makes it so easy to play under her. She's a fireball, and I love it too.
Yeah, for sure. She brings the energy and she brings the fire every day. I think she would do anything for us. She's willing to risk it all, whether it's at practice, at the game, just in life. Yeah, definitely just someone you can trust. Yeah.
She's someone that will be in your corner for the rest of your life. I know that after I graduate this year, in 5 years, in 10 years, I need to call her. She is going to pick up. If she doesn't pick up, I guarantee she's going to call me back when she gets a chance. But she is someone that I will be able to call 5, 10, 20 years from now and talk about my problems and know that she's going to give me some pretty good advice too.
And then my last question to both of you, describe what's it like being a student athlete in FAU, as Coach likes to refer to it as paradise.
Truly paradise. Yeah, I mean, we definitely live a unique college experience here. I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to go to school here. Definitely, it's just the best. Like, we're looking at palm trees every day in our outfield. It's just a great experience being able to go to the beach. We're definitely in the middle of everything. It's not a true college town. It's great living here. It's warm weather. The fact that we get to practice outdoors right now and we're not worried about snow, we don't have any of those weather issues. It's just amazing to go to school here.
Everything Kylie said is true. It's crazy because out of everyone in the country practicing right now, we are some of the so few that get to practice outdoors, not be freezing, and actually enjoy it. And I'll tell you, I go to the beach really often. I go to the pool really often living here. You truly get to go to school in paradise and make a life here. I have made a life here since I moved. I have so many friends and I get to do so many things because you're 45 minutes from Fort Lauderdale, you're an hour from Miami, you're 35, 40 minutes from West Palm Beach. The opportunities to do all kinds of different things are endless because you're in a good location. You got the beach, what is it, 1.3? 1.8 miles from the beach. And I'll tell you, our field, most gorgeous field in the country. Not saying that just because I go to school here, but it is the most gorgeous field in the country because the whole thing, all the way around, has palm trees all the way around. It is the most beautiful sight I've ever seen, and it is a blessing to play on it every day.